Now, achieving these very ambitious targets that have been set for transition in Afghanistan are going to be daunting and challenging. Let me detail now for you what I would say are four major obstacles to success. First of all, to be frank, Pakistan. Its apparent unwillingness and perhaps, in some instances, inability to deal with Afghan Taliban sanctuaries inside of Pakistan make transition higher risk. In the absence of Pakistani cooperation, U.S. coalition and Afghan cost in terms of casualties and treasure will increase. Second, risk related to the Afghan National Security Force training and equipping programs. There are several, and these include very high sustainment cost for the Army and Police of Afghanistan, estimated by the year 2014 to be annually over $4.5 billion US dollars per year. The difficulties that the Afghans themselves will have in maintaining a very large and complex Army and police organization. The political reliability of the Afghan forces leadership. And fourth and finally, the potential, I would say, for Afghanistan, or the risk of Afghanistan becoming what you might call a national security state, given the huge amount of resources that the Afghan National Security Forces consume today relative to other agencies of the Afghan government, and indeed relative to the private sector. This is a risk that has to be considered and addressed. To illustrate, first of all, the Afghan National Security Forces number today some 346,000, and there's an agreed end state objective that's been established by November of this year to take that number up to 352,000. Of this number, 195,000 of this end state number, 195,000 will be Afghan National Army. By comparison, in 1985, during the Soviet occupation, the Afghan National Army at that time was about 90,000 in strength. So we're talking about an end state of 195,000 to be maintained. We're talking then at the height of the Soviet occupation, an ANA that was not over 90,000 strong. Now, the size of these forces will be reduced, there's hope, after the year 2014, that being security conditions permitting. This would help to, of course, lower the overall fiscal cost, but this also begs the question, if there is a reduction in the number of Army and police in Afghanistan in the year 2014, how can this be conducted seamlessly when Afghanistan currently faces huge problems of unemployment and underemployment? A third set of obstacles, and these pertain to the uncertain consequences of the economic downturn that Afghanistan will experience when foreign spending levels decline over the next several years. Currently, the Afghan government is generating revenues of about $2 billion US dollars per year, while foreign spending in Afghanistan annually is at a level of about $10 billion per year. So the Afghan economy is artificially propped up right now, and it's massively distorted by unsustainable levels of foreign spending and cash injections into the Afghan economy. We really don't know what the second and third order economic, political, and indeed security effects of a recession will be as economic problems become more pronounced as we proceed with transition. Now, to be sure, on the economic front, there are some mitigating factors. Afghans' urban areas are more secure and are more vibrant at any time in recent decades, and they really do serve as very good foundations for the further development of commerce in the country. Internal transportation costs in the main have dropped significantly in Afghanistan with the development of road networks and actually with air transport. The skill level of the Afghan workforce has increased significantly. since 2001, and external labor migration opportunities in Iran, the Gulf, and India can help to increase overseas remittances, and they may help to dampen recessionary effects. Still, though, the problems that we're facing on the economic front are daunting. The fourth and final challenge and obstacle pertains to the resilience and to the staying power of the central government and the political institutions that underpin them and serve as the basis for the Afghan government's legitimacy. First and foremost, there are problems of massive and rampant corruption. Moreover, Afghan elites are not willing to fully commit to institutions that are heavily supported and subsidized by the international community, whose own staying power they increasingly discount. And importantly, there's another Afghan election, a presidential election, looming in 2014, with many of the preconditions that I would say are needed for success, such as the establishment of national political parties or movements, and the initiation of electoral reform at this point being glaringly absent. Indeed, President Karzai has openly discussed moving the election from 2014 to 2013, and this would make even more urgent then to undertake these necessary enabling reforms.